Hello, this is Matt Bernstein, and today I will be discussing my Learning Analysis Journal number 3, Motivation in the Classroom. Let's get right to it. In this scenario, I am taking a trip down memory lane where I am a high school senior working as a teacher's aide for my former art teacher, Miss Hawker. Basically, for one trimester, I took a period out of my schedule to assist her and her class. This involved cleaning the room, grading assignments, and helping students when Miss Hawker was busy. I was the teacher's aide when Miss Hawker was teaching a beginner's ceramics class. In the second week of class, the students began working on creating clay vases using a spinning wheel. The process of centering the clay was easy for some, but incredibly challenging for most, including me. It was very easy to get frustrated. One student, let's call him Owen, was having a very difficult time centering the clay. After a few failed attempts, he took his clay from the wheel, spiked it into the recycling clay bin, and shouted, "I just can't do this." Miss Hawker addressed Owen's issues by having a mini one-on-one lesson with him. In this lesson, she and Owen both attempted to center the clay, and where Owen struggled, Miss Hawker assisted him. She then motivated him by saying a lot of people struggle with this part of the process. She said that she even struggled with this part of the process when she first started. She challenged Owen to try his best, and whatever happens, happens, just as long as he doesn't give up. Miss Hawker's way of motivation involved words of encouragement and a lot of empathy. Processing. As a silent observer in this scenario, I was able to see how both Owen and Miss Hawker reacted to the issue. Owen wanted to give up and call it a day, but Miss Hawker knew that anyone could be good at something as long as they practice enough. Owen displayed a motivation after he spiked his clay in the bin. Rather than Miss Hawker luring Owen back to the wheel with the threat of failing him, she wanted Owen to be motivated through his own accord. Instead of being extrinsically motivated, she wanted him to be intrinsically motivated. One question that I didn't really get answered at the time was why Owen gave up. What made him unmotivated? Was he truly amotivated? Was he projecting? Were there issues outside of the classroom he was struggling with? No matter what was happening, Miss Hawker's strategy of getting Owen to be intrinsically motivated seemed to work. Generalizing. In the classroom, you can't really predict how your students are going to act. Some days may be better than others. What we can control, however, is how the classroom feels. Woolfolk states, classroom environments that support student self-determination and autonomy are associated with greater student interest and curiosity, self-of-competence, creativity, conceptual learning, grades, school attendance and satisfaction, engagement, use of self-regulated learning strategies, psychological well-being, and preference for challenge. Page 468. This ideology is a bit easier to apply in a more creative environment, i.e. an art class, but is still applicable to any classroom. I thought it was interesting when Woolfolk challenged us to think about our best teachers that we've ever had. One big reason I was a student aide for Miss Hawker and why I remember this event was how Miss Hawker genuinely cared about us. She wanted to connect with us. She wanted us to feel accepted. Even though I had her as a teacher, 6, 7 years ago, I consider her my friend because of the way she treated me. Practical application. In order to truly learn from my experience with Miss Hawker and Owen, I need to understand all the intricacies that come with motivating students. Everyone is different, and everyone responds to situations differently. There isn't one catch-all treatment I can do to motivate someone. And just because a motivation technique works one day for someone, that doesn't mean it'll work again for that same person. I can't guarantee that students will be interested or curious with what I have to say, and I can't guarantee that students will have the same emotions or anxiety levels every day. That said, I can strive for my students to be intrinsically motivated. My mom, who's an elementary school teacher, recently said, "A teacher needs to be strict but warm." Applying this to what Woolfolk talks about could include framing goals that meet state standards while understanding how students might react to these goals. Woolfolk says students are more likely to work towards goals that are clear, specific, reasonable, moderately challenging, and attainable within a relatively short period of time. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that students learn from what I have to say. In order to create an environment where they can learn, I need to motivate them. I can use Ms. Hawker's strategy of relating to a student using words of encouragement to do so, or I can employ the numerous techniques Woolfolk talks about, setting goals, pushing self-worth, or teaching to the curiosity, interest, and emotion of my students. Thank you.